Hello, and welcome to another video by ES Repair. I am your host, Mr. Fix-It. In this video, I'm going to show you how to hook up a cloud drive. These are similar to what network attached storage devices are. The only thing that sets these different is that you can access these with any device. Whether you have an iOS, an iPad, Android tablets, this device will work on PCs, Macs, iOS, phones, tablets. And I'm going to show you how to hook these up. And once they're hooked up, these connect to the network. This one here connects as an Ethernet. Some of them connect as a wireless device. And once you have it set up, and I'm going to show you the whole process, that any device that you have just has to download the app, and you can access all the data that's on the drive through all your devices. Comes in real handy. You can use it as a backup drive, share your pictures, your files. No matter what it is, you can share it with all your devices. And this is the My Cloud by Western Digital. It's a 3 terabyte drive. You can get these things pretty high. I've seen these things go as high as 24 terabytes. So I'm going to show you how to hook one of these up. First thing you need to do is go ahead and open it. Now with these, you're going to get one of these quick start guides. They're very simple. And once you follow the instructions, which I'm going to show you, it is going to be able to connect to all your devices. Now the other thing you want to do is you want to check, make sure that you have all the pieces. This is the drive. As you can see here, it's very small. This is a 3 terabyte, and this is a white one. And it's got the indicator and your power button. It's also got the connectors in the back. It's got a USB 3.0 hub, and it's also got a Ethernet, and this is where you're going to connect it to your network through an Ethernet. You connect it to the modem or the router, whichever you have. And of course it's got the power supply plug. So we'll go ahead and take the rest of the stuff out. They come with the power adapter. They also come with the Ethernet cable to connect the device to your network. And of course, you have the instruction manual. Be sure that you read these. These gives you the details about your warranties and everything that's covered. So if you have any problems with it, this will help you get the device worked on. Now, one of the first things you want to do is you want to go ahead and connect the drive. I've got the Ethernet cable. You'll plug one in into the back, like so. Then you take the other end and you plug that into your router. Just in case you're wondering, this is a Wi-Fi extender that I'm using. You'll plug it into the back of the router. Now if you have a Wi-Fi version, you can follow the instructions to show how to connect it to the Wi-Fi. This one here isn't a Wi-Fi, so they're basically the same. You just have to connect it like you would a computer or a device. Now, as you can see, I do have it plugged in. Now what you want to do is plug the power cord in. Now as you can see, the light's going to flash. And it's going to stay flashing until everything is set up. If you look in the back, you should have your Ethernet. It's got the lights in the back. They show the interaction with the system. You got the orange light, which lets you know you're connected. The green light will tell you that there's transmission going on, there's data being transferred. Now it will take a moment for it to set up. Now I'm going to show you how to set it up on your computers and your devices. To set up the cloud drive, now you have to make sure once the light becomes solid, to let you know that the drive is ready to be set up. But be sure that you wait for the light to turn solid. The next step you'll do is set up the drive. And what you'll do, as the instructions on the pamphlet said, it says that you have to go to the website, which is mycloud.com/setup. Now you'll be brought to this website. It says that welcome to MyCloud. And when you get started, now before you start on this, be sure that you do read their license agreement and their privacy policy. And go ahead and then click Get Started. Now what it's doing is looking for the device on the network. Now as you can see, it's found the device. It wants to know the language you want it to use. You're going to notice up here at the top the IP address that it's using. Now yours will vary. This is what my network is set it up for, but that's where you'll find the IP address for the device. If you agree with the end user license agreement, go ahead and click on this, and then you'll see the button here to where it says continue. Now here you're going to create a password. Now what this does is it creates an account on the drive. So only the person who creates the account, which of course is the administrator, will be able to make any changes to the cloud drive. So you want to go ahead and create your password. Now once you're finished, you can click on next in the lower right. Now here, this is the next screen. As you can see here, this is the next step in the process. Now the access requires a mycloud.com account, and each user needs one. So anybody that's going to be using this is going to need an account. Now as you can see here, I've got the first one here. This is going to be the first account. And I can go ahead and put your name, your last name, and your email address. You can also turn everything on to auto-update the firmware, which the drive itself does have a firmware on it that allows you to communicate with the drive. You can also be part of the product improvement program, and what this does is they check to see how the hard drive has been performing. Have you had any problems accessing the drive, or if the drive is experiencing any kind of problems? And you can turn this on or off. You don't have to have it on if you don't want to, but it will help improve future products. Down here at the bottom, you have to register your product, and once you have that done, you can click Next. Once you click Finish, you'll come to this screen here. This is the home screen. And this gives you an overall view as to the current status of the drive. Now, as you can see here, it shows how much space I have. This shows the capacity. Over here are the categories. It separates all the movies, your photos, music, shows how much space they take. Any other files that you may have that don't fit those three categories. And down here at the bottom it shows you how much space there is. To the right you'll see the device that you're using. Its current status, which in this case it's healthy, of course it is brand new. Down here you want to make sure that when you connect these drives and set them up, that you also check to make sure its firmware is also up to date. Down here in the lower left you'll see the network activity. This shows any data transfer that is that's taken place with the drive. As you can see, there's no activity at the time. The CPU, this is referring to the CPU on the drive. It does have its own motherboard, CPU, and RAM for it to perform its functions. Down here you got the RAM that shows you how much memory there is, how much of it's being used. Here you have cloud devices. This shows how many devices that are connected to this cloud. And you can also add other devices. And this gives you information as to how to get other devices to connect to your cloud. Over here is users. Now this will show you how many users are currently logged in to the cloud. And as you can see, I've only got one, which of course is me. Apps. These are the apps that are installed on the drive. These apps you can use, and they have different purposes, which I will go into later on. Up here at the top you have your home, which is the screen that we're on. Users, if you click on this, this allows you to manage users. You can also add users to the group. These users are allowed to access the drive. The sharing, this is where you can control what is shared. Your public means everyone can use it. Your smartware, this is the software that I'm going to show you later on to download. Time Machine, this refers to Mac computers. They have a program called Time Machine. It's similar to what smartware is, which I will go to into details later on. Western Digital Sync, this is another application I'm going to show you how to set up. Apps, as I showed you earlier, these are the ones that you can select as to which ones you're going to use. DLNA, that is for transferring media, for like watching videos on your TVs and other devices. Cloud access, this is for accessing the cloud where you can use your tablets, smartphones, anything that you have. And you can also access the cloud from any location. It doesn't necessarily have to be on your network. And I will show you how to do that later. Backups, you have the backups here. This is any USB device that's connected. I will go into depth of how that works later on. Remote backups. This is where you can back up your cloud, your hard drive, to another server or another network outside of your own. Internal backups, this does come in handy because even though that it's storing your information, you do want to make sure that it backs up, so in case that drive ever fails, you have a secondary or a backup that you can use to restore it. Over here you have the settings. The settings here will, like the device profile, you can name your device. This is what it's going to show up on the network as. And you can give a description as to what this drive is for. And of course it gives you the serial number of that device. You can set your clock, your language. The NTP service you can leave on because what this does is automatically updates the time. And this is the server that it's currently using. And this shows the current date and time, your time format, your date format, and if you want the cloud access. Now what this does is allows you to access this drive from anywhere. You don't have to be at home connected to the network to use it. You can also use this anywhere. If you're traveling and you need to access your files from your cloud drive, then you can do that, and I will show you how to do that later. You also have Energy Saver. This one here allows the drive to go to sleep. So if you're not using it, then the drive can go shut down and use minimum power until it's needed again. The LED, this one here will turn the LED that was on the front on and off, so you can have it show if it's on or off. Web access timeout. Now this is for the timeout. So if you're not using the drive, then after 5 minutes, then it times you out and logs you off the system. Mac backups. Mac backups are for the time machine, as I will get into later on. Next, we have the network profile. This here will show you the status, let you know it does have internet access. The MAC address, that's just a physical address of that device. The IPv4 IP address, this is the address that's assigned to your drive from your local network. The DNS server is the main gateway, which in this case is the router. Here we have the network services. The IPv4 network mode, you want to leave this on DHCP. This allows the router or modem, depending on the device you connected it to automatically configure the IP and network information. FTP access, you can leave that off. That's for the file transfer protocol access. If you need that, you can turn it on. If you do not, you can leave it off. The secure shell protocol, you can leave that off. Now, unless you have an application or software that requires it, then you can turn it on. Down here, you have the Windows services. The work group is the name of your group. By default, Windows uses work group. Now, you can change it. However, all your computers that's going to be using this cloud drive need to have the same name of the work group. Down here, the local master browser, you don't have to worry about that. Just leave it off. The maximum SMB protocol, it's currently, for most computers, it will use SMB3. If you're using Windows 8, you need to set this on SMB2. That's only if you're using Windows 8. Down here at the bottom, you have port forwarding. You don't have to worry about that unless there's a reason you need to have a specific port to use the drive. Next, we have the DLNA media server. This is for your media. If you have videos, music, pictures on the drive, you can have it streamed to a DLNA media service. TVs oftentimes will have this. And I will go into all that when I do video on TVs. This shows you the version of the software, the media tracks, pictures, videos, the last time that the database was updated. You can also have it rescanned for the database, or you can have it rebuild it. Down here you have iTunes. So if you do have iTunes, you can have this, use it to stream movies and videos to, or music to your TV. In this case, I have mine turned off because I don't use iTunes, but I'm sure many of you do. So you'll want to leave it on. Next, we have utilities. Under utilities, this is some configuration and some testing that you can do. The system diagnostics, if you're experiencing any kind of problems with the drive, you can run diagnostic tests to find out where the problem is at. You can test the disk, the hard drive that's in it. You can do a quick test, which is a brief test. The full test that goes into more depth on testing the hard drive. The system test, this tests the hardware that is connected to the drive. This is the operating system, the CPU, the memory, the motherboard. Down here is the logs. So anytime that you do a test, it will keep logs as to how the test performed and what the results of that test are. This comes in handy, so in case you need to send information to Western Digital support, or to support to whoever the drive manufacturer of your drive is. Extended logging, you could turn this on if you want. This will give you more details as to any problems that the hard drive is encountering. Next, you have to restore to default. This is the default setting that you want to do if you need to reset the configurations back to the default configuration. This is where you can do so. You can select as to what kind of default restore that you need to do. If it's just a system, if you need to do a quick restore, or if you need to do a full restore. Now as you scroll down, you'll see the system configuration. Now this comes in handy to go ahead and save the configuration file. This way, if anything ever happens to where you had to reset the hard drive, which there is a button on the back of it to allow you to reset it, or if you need to restore it using the interface here, then you can import those configurations once the problem is resolved. Device maintenance, this is the next feature that we see here. This allows you to reboot the device or the hard drive in this case, and what this does is, because it's going to be operating 24/7, it's a good idea to let this reboot once a week. And you can do it manually just by clicking this button, and it will reboot the operating system in the hard drive. Now during the reboot, do not unplug it. You won't be able to use it until the reboot's complete, and that's going to take anywhere between 30 to 60 seconds. Down here is the device uptime. This shows you how long this device has been operating. Scan disk, if you're experiencing problems trying to access files, or files are corrupted, you can use scan disk, and this will check and fix any problems that it encounters. Format disk, if you want to erase the disk, reformat it, you can, and then you can start out fresh and add new data. Here we have the notification email. Now what this does is, if the drive encounters a problem, it will send an email to you to let you know. You can also have it send you a text message. They're off by default, but if you want to use it, then go ahead and turn them on and configure the email or the text message. Down here you have the notification display. This shows notifications on the dashboard. So if you're on the home screen, as we were in the beginning, then it will automatically display messages. You can have it only display critical ones, critical and warnings, or you can have it display all messages. All messages is set by default. Next we have firmware update. Now here you have the auto update. This automatically checks for any update from the manufacturer, and it will automatically install it. This shows you how often it's going to check these, and you can select as to when it's going to check for a new update. Now these updates don't come out a lot, but you know, you can set it for daily or randomly. You can even set it for once a week, which is fine. Down here is available updates. You can set this and have it manually check for an update. It shows you the current version that you're using and the last time it was updated. Down here at the bottom you'll see the manual update. This is the firmware image. Now if you want to do that one, you have to go to the website at Western Digital or whoever your drive manufacturer is, download the firmware manually, and then run this process so you can update it from your computer. Up at the top here, you'll see the USB icon. This is for showing any device that's currently connected to it, which I do not have one. I will show you how this works later on in another video. Over here you have the notification. This is the alerts. This is the alerts I showed you a moment ago in notifications. This is where they will appear. If you need help, you can click on the question mark up here. This is the Getting Started wizard. This is the wizard that you went through earlier in this video. Help, now this will come up with a self-help guide, so it'll show you how to do different things. Support, this is going to be in case you have technical problems or have questions, then you can ask, get help from Western Digital Support. The About, this shows you the current version and information about the unit. Over here you have your sign-in. This shows you the welcome admin because I'm the user that's on here. I can tell it to go ahead and reboot the device, and I can go ahead and log out. Now I'm going to be showing some other videos to help you use different features on the cloud, but as you can see now, this is all you have to do to set up the cloud drive, and now you can begin storing information and data to the drive. Well, I'm your host, Mr. Fix-It. Thank you for watching.